Chris Jericho ends up defeating Bray Wyatt via pinfall with a code breaker in a match that I think was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It just was what it was, which means that it was not good enough for me because I had said before they need to wow me and then they need to really amp it up for SummerSlam for me to give a shit and for me to not think that it was a waste to not do this at SummerSlam first. And they didn't do that here. It was just a standard, typical, okay match. I can't think of a single situation now, especially after watching Monday Night Raw and having that pre-taped segment where Chris Jericho's ear starts to bleed. I can't think of anything that they can do that will make me interested in SummerSlam to see these two. You want to give them a street fight? I don't fucking care. You want to give them in a last man standing match? Don't care. Stretcher match? Nope. You'd have to do something really odd. And that would be like a boiler room brawl or some crap.
Hair versus beard.
Maybe that, but then, you know what? Then I don't care about the match. I only care about the outcome. I only want to see whoever gets shaved in the picture afterward, rather than actually sit through the whole match. So I'm really down on this feud. I think that it's a shame that they decided to put all this focus on it. Jericho came back for this feud, because if he came back for this and this is the best they could do, he should probably stay away for a little bit. And if it's all supposed to be on Wyatt to carry it, then he can go back down to the mid card, because this is not good enough. Drew?
When it comes to caring about this match, I care enough because Jericho's in it, and anything Jericho does, I will at least put some attention into it. But the match was just okay. I can't really tell you anything that happened in the match because I don't remember anything that's really happened on this pay-per-view thus far, as you can tell. And yeah, I'm not excited for the match at SummerSlam if they continue to there, but I will watch it and I will probably be like, oh my god, it's Jericho. So yeah.
We go.
It wasn't a bad match, but it's a case of it didn't wow me. And I expected better out of these two, but the only thing I really take issue in with this is they ejected Luke Harper and Eric Rowan during the match. So when Bray Wyatt lost, it made him look a lot weaker, that he couldn't win without having those two guys out there. I don't think it draws attention to making him look weaker as opposed to if they wasn't out there in the first place. And they didn't need to be out there because they'd already wrestled earlier in the night. They've got reason not to be out there. So it wasn't a big deal, but I didn't like that. But if they're meant to be dragging this feud out for a few months, so if it means they each get a win and then we have the best 2 out of 3, I'm fine.
Miguel, what do you think?
Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see the actual pay-per-view because I worked, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt because it is the first matchup what is probably going to be a 3-match series. I could see them doing a match at SummerSlam and then doing the rubber match at Night of Champions. So this is their first time really working with each other, feeling each other out in terms of what their styles are. So I'm okay with giving them the okay if the matchup was all right. We'll have to see how it goes with SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam is where you're going to see them really break out their A game and really work with each other to the best of their abilities. Because SummerSlam is the big media event. It is arguably the second or third biggest pay-per-view of the year. So this is where you're going to see all the stops pulled.
And Peyton?
I really did not care for this match as much as I should have. This was what I often refer to as my pizza match, where I spent more time munching on pizza and talking to my friends than I did actually paying attention to the match. And by the time the finish happened, I was completely out of touch with it. And I saw, oh, Jericho won. Okay. That's it then. Jericho won clean in the middle of the ring with his finisher. Nothing screwy. I have no reason to see these two fight again. And with that, I have no reason to see these two fight again. So if this is going to be extending another 2 months, I think this was the wrong way to have booked it. There should have been some kind of schmaltzy ending to this that causes Jericho to look like, or Bray looks like they have more of a beef to settle with the person, rather than having Bray Wyatt botch piercing Chris Jericho's ear and making it bleed the next night because that was stupid.
What kind of pizza?
There was a plain one, and then there was a meatball and broccoli one, which was my favorite one.
Was the plain one to represent this pay-per-view?
Meatball and broccoli. I never had that combination before.
Oh, it's so good.
That does sound good, though. Now I'm fucking starving. And now I really want a meatball and broccoli pizza.
Drew, you said one of the perks of your job is free pizza, right? Get us some pizzas for us.
Yeah. I'll be sure to deliver pizza all the way out to New Jersey or wherever the hell you live.
If you want a tip, you better.
Yeah, remember
you're a good sport.
Remember, if it's over 30 minutes, it's free.
Well, if it ain't right, white, it ain't right. So you know the deal.
Oh, I love white pizza.
I'm gonna leave it up on that. I can't top that with anything. Get it?
Uh,
So that's how much we gave a shit about that match.
How many matches are left?
We have 3 matches left. We're actually going to backtrack because I jumped forward through one thing, but it doesn't really matter. We will talk about all the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose stuff coming up next, and then do the Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal, and then the WWE Championship match.